as is it that one that's getting it, or is it
all versus charges?
Yeah, help me out here.
Let me get to the list.
Is the one that's exploding and burning people? Is it getting
Joanna
it?
did. Okay.
Yep.
What is that? Which one blew up?
No, that was the Ionic.
Ionic.
I think it's
getting
like
it too?
6 years old. No,
Oh, okay.
probably not. Sure, it's getting it. Go buy one.
Go get one.
Let's see. Where is the list? So Sense, which is their latest kind of like flagship, Versa Lite, and their press release just said Versa. And so I asked Joanna before we published this, I'm like, which Versa do you know? And it didn't say, but the fact that the Versa Lite has it, that means all the Versas are going to get it. The Versa Lite's kind of the weakest of the bunch.
Oh, I have the Inspire 2. That's the cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah,
so
the Charge 4 and Inspire 2 are getting this capability. And so I'm going to read this quote from the press release. Our new PPG AFib algorithm can passively assess your heart rhythm in the background while you're still or asleep. If there's anything that might be suggestive of atrial fibrillation. It's like February.
Yeah.
Except you actually use the R this time.
Yeah.
You'll be notified through our irregular heart rhythm notification feature, allowing you to talk with your healthcare provider or seek further assessment and to prevent significant medical events such as stroke. Idea here being, I think my wife has the Fitbit Sense, and I don't even know if I told the whole story about the Fitbit 3 thing with my son and stuff. I ended up buying 2 of these Fitbit.
This is great.
Versa 3s. I won't go into all that right now.
It was my fault.
But we ended up getting, he really wanted one. He's been talking about it nonstop, about a Fitbit Versa 3 or a Sense, like telling me the stats and everything. And I came home with one because I had bought the Samsung Galaxy Watch and I gave him my Versa 2. Yeah. I didn't have a watch, and so the Fitbit Versa 3 went on sale. Bought it, came home with it, and when I had to tell him that I bought this for myself, and his reaction to it, it just broke something inside me because he just looked at me and was like, "No, okay,
Dad
no."
of the year over here."
He was like, "No, okay." Like he was trying to play it off like he was fine, and he was just like, he was crushed, and so I just slid it across the table and just gave it to him.
Sorry,
a little bit of a pushover.
Yeah,
I guess.
all I can think about is the guy talking to his German Shepherd about all the food in the fridge.
Yeah,
and I made a sandwich, and you know what I did with it? I gave it to the cat.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was so sweet about it. But so I gave it to him, and I was like, "All right, let's go get in the car. I need to go buy one for myself now, because I need a watch." And so I got the Versa 3 anyway. So that's why I've got this. Yeah. And so that's why I was asking as well on this, is because, we ended up going with this. It was on sale.
Yeah.
I did my research and realized the Sense and the Versa 3 are almost identical watches. The Sense has ECG sensor on it, and it has skin temperature sensor.
Yeah.
So just extra sensors. It's called Sense, in order for it to do more stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm not that worried about any of those things. So when I saw this come out, I'm like, well, how is this going to deal with that sort of stuff? I mean, it obviously tracks heartbeat all the time. And this is just an example of Google doing cool stuff with algorithms and software with existing hardware to be like, hey, we'll just do this.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, this is probably a more powerful tool than an ECG. Like the watch that Gabe's got on and my wife's Sense have this. You touch, in certain spots and you sit still for a little while and it'll run, like the Apple Watch does, the same thing. Mm-hmm. It'll run some tests and let you know if you've got atrial fibrillation.
Yes.
He'll get it.
I always want to say fibrillation or something. I'm like, that's not right. Anyway, tribulation. That's probably why.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so
just AFib.
Just AFib.
And so we'll call it AFib. And so that's cool. But how often are you going to be like, "Ooh, I need to check this"?
Right.
Versus this is passively just
background.
detecting it, and it's not like spying on you or anything. It's just, here's all this data we have about how your heart's beating all the time. If we've noticed something that probably points to, hey, based on an algorithm, there's probably something wrong with your heart. You need to go talk to somebody. It'll just alert you, and then you can go see a healthcare professional about it. It makes me think at the end of, I just watched Limitless the other day for like the 50th time.
Such a good film.
At the very end of Limitless, like, sorry, spoiler for you if you've never seen it. If you haven't seen it by now, it's shame on you. And he reaches in and touches his De Niro's chest, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, You need to get that checked out. You got to blah, blah, blah. Like his sensors are so heightened, he's feeling his heartbeat and can tell from something that's going on that there's an irregularity. Similar type thing. Like, it's not new data. It's just being able to take that data and go, we could do something with this via an algorithm, and Google going, cool, let's do it. And they got it all passed, and it's going to be a thing. And I think it's awesome.
And this sort of tech and Google doing this sort of cool stuff with Fitbit, I feel like we're gonna keep talking about it until it happens, about the Pixel Watch. I mean,
I've got an article queued up in the brain up here already.
If they're already working on this sort of stuff, because that's the whole thing about the Apple Watch that's so amazing, is that they've been ahead of the curve on all of this fitness stuff and all of their tracking stuff. And one of I think the last watch, the last keynote for the last watch that came out, they were talking about like resting heart rate and how, just checking your heart rate can tell you some data about your health if you're working out or whatever, but your resting heart rate throughout the day is more important and more indicative of maybe health issues that might be going on. And so that sort of stuff that they're able to do is because they've built up this thing over time. And Fitbit obviously has a lot of data. They have a lot of devices. So now Google's able to take that data set and say, all right, let's run it through our machine learning, right? And so
because when the acquisition happened, it was around the time of the Nest Hub 2 when they were doing all the sleep tracking stuff, and they said they're going to bring some more Fitbit stuff to that, and they probably will, and that's fine. But at that time, the bigger picture wasn't visible. Now it's clear what their acquisition of Fitbit is going to be really big in the wearable space, way bigger than we ever could have thought. Because at that time, Wear OS was still kind of on shaky ground too.
Anyone in the healthcare industry listening to us try to talk about this stuff, sorry, we're tech nerds that are interested in this, because I think it was I can't remember if it was even in the presentation that I read about or maybe I just read it somewhere about the resting heart rate stuff, but like Google being able to do this sort of stuff is really exciting for the Pixel Watch.
This is such a Google thing to do too, by the way. So like they came into the photography scene with Pixel and said, cameras and smartphones are limited by their aperture, by their, focal lengths and, the lens size and the sensor size and all that stuff. Why not apply machine learning and algorithms to what we get and make it better? And they did that. And they pushed the entire smartphone camera systems forward. So like if you're buying an Apple iPhone right now and you love your photography, you should thank Google for what they did, because Apple just copied what they did 100%. Like no one else, when the first and second Pixel came out, no one else was doing computational photography this way. It just was not. Like, it was being done. Like, some stuff was getting sharpened or whatever, and colors were but to be able to combine tons of photos in real time, and that was not a thing the way it is now with most phones.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's just Google's way of approaching most problems. Like, they try to solve problems with software, not hardware, most of the times. And so, like, for them to be like, there's a bunch of watches out there that get heartbeats. Like, if we have that data, we could probably do something with it. You want to do something with it? Let's do something with it.
And probably plug it into some machine learning, some algorithms.
Yeah, I mean, it's all algorithm based. It's all machine. Like, the only reason they can do it is because of those.
I was reading one other thing about lung scans and some Google algorithms that are taking these massive sets of data of lung scans and finding, different cancers, different things in it that like doctors would have never have been able to do, so like, I don't know. I just think that the Pixel Watch with the things they're learning from Fitbit, I just keep getting more and more excited about this watch. And I think it will be like, we've seen a little bit of Google Fit and some of the things it can do, but I think this is going to be hopefully the start, because the watch is so much more connected to you, right? It's on your skin where it can get so much more data. They're going to be able to start gathering all this data. I think it'll be the start, hopefully, of Google really leaning into I don't know what you would call this. It's not fitness tracking. It's more of like health monitoring, wellness monitoring.
Yeah, wellness, because and that's the thing. This is so much more about preventative medicine, because I was reading the stuff about the lung scans and everything, and a doctor over a period of a 35 or 40 year career can look at thousands of X-rays, and over time they will learn and say, okay, Robbie and I worked for a doctor for a while, and you see how they learn to look for things.
Absolutely,
they see, that's something that someone else would never see. But like, well, that right there, that could be this, or it could lead to that. Now you have a computer that can do that billions of times a second.
Yeah.
And imagine what it could do, not just Google, but everyone who's doing this, Apple, anyone else, how that could lead to preventative medicine to say, hey, you could be prone to, a stroke or an aneurysm or thing like this. And this, here's some steps you need to take to prevent that.
Yep.
That's a huge deal. It's a huge step forward. So
yeah. And we still obviously don't have all the details with the Pixel Watch. Wait,
no, but all this.
I always want to call it something different. I don't know why. Like Pixel Watch, I struggle with. My brain isn't working right now. I'm sorry.
But like all this stuff is going to work on the Pixel Watch. That's the cool part about it. Like, all the stuff that I'm enjoying a lot, honestly, about this Fitbit, it's cool and I like it, but it just makes me think, oh, how much better is the Pixel Watch going to be?
And with a little bit more of an interface, maybe. I'm still really curious to see what the UI will be. I think it's going to be this hybrid thing like they've done with the
100%.
with the Samsung Watch 4.
Glanceable.
It's all the marketing material is always about at a glance, and it's not necessarily this full interface of all these smartwatch gadgety stuff. No, I don't need all that.
I hope it has this.
I do.
Probably won't, because that's the Samsung thing.
I do love that, and I can.
And I think that's
pretty much guarantee.
And maybe that's kind of where they're going with Wear OS a little bit for right now. Is to be like, here's the underlying operating system, and just like it is on phones, do your own take on it.
Right.
It's app delivery. Let it be app delivery.
Right. So you can
in settings.
Right. So you can enjoy and do whatever it is. Like Samsung does that cool around this, spinning around the edge thing. Cool. That's Samsung's thing. Y'all have fun with that. And and if Google wants to make Wear OS at a glance and very glanceable and that kind of stuff, cool. That's great. That's gonna be great for people like me. I don't want to I don't want to touch my watch that often. I really don't want to mess with it. I just want to swipe up and maybe look. I like to be able to flip my wrist up. I can see the time, see my steps, see my heart rate, and see how many calories I burned today. I'm good for the most part. I don't really interact with my watch a whole lot, and I'm happy with it to do that. And then when I get a notification, yes, I can interact and move on, and that's it. Yeah. That's all I really want out of this thing on my arm.
But then to be able to do the preventative stuff or the proactive health where it's monitoring in the background for you, that's very, very, very cool.
And I've got it on constantly. I mean, it's super light and it's comfortable to wear, and so I don't really think about like, get this stupid thing off my wrist all the time.
I'm gonna have to be a double watch guy. I'm just gonna wear my
watch.
I'm gonna wear my Pixel Watch on one side, my my old school mechanical watch on the other side.
Like the kind of normal looking watch. Like the Pixel Watch is going to be a good looking watch, dude.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a square. Apple made the calculator looking watches chic, even though they're still pretty nerdy.
Do you all remember that watch band that Jack had that was like analog watch on one side with the Apple Watch on the inside?
Yes.
There are some there I don't know if anybody's still doing it, but I know back in the day there were some folks around Hodinkee that were doing the double watch thing. Apple Watch on one side.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Real watch on the other side.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting.